through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, good evening and welcome to the best show on earth. Yes, the only channel that thinks Tottenham can actually stay up. I know. And I have written something, and I will read it out once I can find it. But joining me tonight was this. I found this fella wandering around. I felt a bit sorry for him, really. He was wandering around North London, didn't know where he was going, looked a bit depressed, really, bless him. Kept going about, I've had my cherries pumped, I've had my cherries busted. I don't know. He's just, all he does is mumble that. I've had my cherries. Good job I'm allergic to cherries, but it is. Of course, it is Nick from the Football Takeover. How are you this evening, Budden? Welcome back.
Oh, mate, thank you for having me back. Yeah, I mean, what a crappy weekend for us too. We've decided to start imitating you just at the crunch time of the season, and I think you showed more fight in your game than we did in ours, to tell you the truth. I honestly believe there's more chance of you staying up than us winning the title. I honestly feel like that at the moment. So,
oh dear. I mean, that says everything. Look, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got Romero. I've written something out today that this is how I feel about the club, and this is where this stream came about, really. Why I still believe Spurs will stay up, because I do believe. We've got games coming up, Nick. We do have Brighton. We've got Wolves. Home, Wolves away. We've got to get something out of them two games. If we lose Brighton, I think it's officially done.
Yeah, I would say so. Right. Do you remember me and you a few weeks ago? We were talking it through, and I was saying, look, I think you're going to pick up more points, and it's going to be here, here, and here. The team that I actually think is going to go down is Leeds. I think Leeds are going to be the one, Leeds or Forest, because West Ham were so far behind, and they've caught you up, all of you up, because they're regularly picking up points. I think I just think you're going to get a few games over the line, and I think Forest might tighten up even more, and Leeds have been caught up and dropping backwards. So I think it's between Leeds or Forest.
Yeah, look, for me, I think West Ham are safe. I think West Ham, but I said it before, you may have known football long enough, Nick,
Mm.
that there's going to be many more twists and turns. I always said this will go to the last game of the season.
Yeah, you did.
I think
Did say that.
this is going to the 24th of May.
Could be.
I just don't think these players have it in them to stay up. I always said it also that if we get to Leeds and we're 5 points from safety by the time we get to Leeds on the Monday night,
Mm.
and a couple of games' time, I think we're done then. I just can't see us getting anything out of Everton, or I can't see us getting anything out of Leeds. But things can change.
Things can change.
I'm saying that, Tenor. You score a goal at home. We beat Brighton 1-0 by a lucky deflection. There's 3 points. We're on
Yeah.
our way.
Yeah.
We're on our way.
Oh my gosh, Leeds are 1-0 up. What the hell? What the hell's going on?
Oh
Okay.
dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hang on. That was a sorry. I'm just in the middle of doing something. Sorry, I do apologize.
That'll be their first win in 6 matches if they land that.
Well, we haven't won in 101 days.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And actually, we are going to get to that. I am going to read. Well, I'm actually going to start what I read, Nick. And this is something I read right out today, and it's something how I feel. And I started by saying, look, I know what everyone's saying right now. I hear it every day. Spurs are finished. There's no fight. This club's going nowhere. And honestly, after what we've watched, after the performances, the results, the frustrations, I get it. I really do. And here's the thing. I'm not done believing. I'm not even close. I'm not even there yet, bruv. Because supporting Tottenham Hotspur isn't about jumping ship when it gets tough.
No.
It's not about you turning your back when things fall apart. It's about standing there in the middle of a chaos and saying, this is my club. We've been through worse. We've seen dark days before. I was talking about it earlier. We've seen really dark days before. Every single time, somehow we found a way to rise again. And maybe right now, it doesn't look good. Maybe the confidence is gone, which it has. Maybe the belief is faded. But football changes fast. One result, one moment, one spark. Everything shifts. So, people can doubt us. People can write us off. They can laugh. They can criticize. Say whatever they want. But me, I still believe. Because as long as that badge is on that shirt, as long as there are fans still backing this team, it's never over. Not for me and not for this club. And I believe that. And I wrote that this morning. I sat here with the PC and I had my notepad open and I started with the first words where I wrote on it was, look, ... And the rest of it just poured out. And that's how I feel. That is how I feel, Nick, that we can do it. We can stay up. I don't know where it is. This club will kill you one day. Will kill me one day. But it's the belief of that we can't go down. We shouldn't go down. But the question to you, Nick, on this, is my belief being misled? Or do you like me thinking, you know what? Saturday is last saloon time for us.
Okay, so looking at your matches, right, and looking at the table, I think Brighton is definitely a game you've got to be targeting for all 3 points. But your home form has been letting you down, and it's almost like for whatever reason, it just hasn't been clicking at home. And I think under De Zerbi, another week, getting into it, because let's face it, not many teams are going to Sunderland and getting points. So I didn't have that down as a Tottenham point, because it's a really tough place to go to Stadium of Light. This one, I do feel like Brighton is a 3-pointer. Wolves away is actually trickier than people think it is. And I can see you getting something out of that game. Villa away and Chelsea away, you shouldn't get anything out of those games.
No.
Not the fact that it's beyond the squad or beyond you as a team, but the table doesn't lie at this stage. So, and then you've got Everton at home. Now, the funny thing about Everton at home is that Everton are a really decent side that are better away from home than at home because they're adjusting to a new stadium. They've actually done really well on the road, and you've been really poor at home. And if it came down to the final game of the season, then I would worry for you on that point. But I think Brighton, Wolves, and Leeds are the games that you can get it done. And I wouldn't be surprised if you got a draw at either at Tottenham, Chelsea. Sorry, I'd imagine I've still got you down for picking up 10 points, and I know that sounds ludicrous because you haven't been picking up points. I just think something's going to click, and you're going to have a little burst. I do. I do think.
I love your optimism. You're more delusional than me. I got us picking up 7 points actually, and that was including a win at Sunderland. But look, I want to get through more of the chat, and then there's something here Tim said, which I am going to do. But big up to Wayne. He says, "Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Tottenham
Sadomasochism. Yeah, masochists.
Yeah, support group. Yeah, the Samaritans have been going there. I want to say big up to Tara as well. Big up to Wilt McDonald, a man that's seen it all. And also big up to Queen Mary. She's in the house. Big up to you, Mary. And she does also say things can change, can soon change. Mary, you with me have seen enough for Tottenham over the years to know we can. Big up to Tara, where the goal's coming from. I know I was on Dave's fan show and he kept pressing that to me, where the goal's coming from. But anyone can score a goal. You can score a goal by a header of somebody's back arse. You look how Ireland conceded the goal against Chechnya. He scored with the back of his neck. He didn't even know the ball was there.
No.
So, you know.
But I still think you've got goal score. I know they've not been consistent, but Richarlison, Solanke, Moani, Tell, Simmons, you only need one of them just to keep popping up, don't you? I don't think you're going to get consistency at this stage of the season and in this situation, but they all have the capacity to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And I think with how De Zerbi plays, it suits you better. And I just think Sunderland, you lost, but you didn't get battered. And
no,
I think that it's a small consolation to the players. Look, believe in it a bit more, because he's got to battle the mental side of this now, because some of these players are going to be a little bit broken.
Yeah.
And they've got to be brave enough to go and do the right things without feeling like they're going to get clobbered.
Yeah.
So,
no, I agree, Mary. It might be written in the stars. You can just do it, couldn't you? Do you know what? Saying that, Mary, I don't know if you're too young to remember it, and maybe you don't even remember Spurs back in the 70s. But 74-75. We had to beat Chelsea to stay up that year at the Lane, and we beat them 2-1. I'm just wondering, 49 years later, if history's going to repeat itself. But we've got to win at the Bridge. I just think, I don't know, destiny and way of life and the world itself has a funny way of twisting things. Big up to you, Mary. Big up to Ed Fan. Big up Dermot from a rainy Hamburg in Germany. We hope with you. Yeah, we are. We're going to stay up. Of course we are. It's all Leeds. We United haven't started well, which isn't great. Big up to Tim Man 007. He says, guys, sorry to say we're going down. We haven't won a game in 14. That's true. No. It'd be 15 now. We will, if we don't beat Brighton, we will have equaled Swindon's 93-94 record of 15 games without a win. And we only survived that year by 3 points. You remember that. Only by 3 points, by the way. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. Fans think we can win 3 out of 6 games, which, by the way, doesn't guarantee its safety. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
We lost our ability. With losing yesterday, it's not on our hands anymore. It's out of our hands. Whatever happens is out of our hands now. So, I don't know. Okay. So, sorry. I'm just, at the moment, trying to do 20 things at once. Right.
I think a lot was made of Romero in tears, but I don't think he was crying about his World Cup. Nothing that was happening on the pitch, or
No, he wasn't. He was crying. I got a bit of an update on Romero. We will give it to you. We got one up 5-0 at sea. I remember that. Yeah. Jesus, I know. Mary, where have we gone? We picked Brighton on goal difference to get promotion. I remember that too. I was trying to say you're 21 again, Mary. I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
Right. So what have we got? This is the first one out, guys. I'm going to talk a bit about this, Nick. Christian Romero's out for the season. Knee ligament injury. Left the pitch in tears. Major emotional moment this season defining. Without Romero, no leader, no spine, no aggression at the back. He's out to 68 weeks, Nick. Is he out of the World Cup as well, do you think? Or do you think he'll push everything to get back to it?
He'll push everything to get back, but it'll be one of those that how much will they be able to use him? 6 to 8 weeks. Where does that take us? That's the whole of May. That's the whole of June. He won't have any training properly going into July. Yeah, I don't see that happening personally.
No. He knew yesterday his World Cup was done. He knew yesterday his World Cup was finished. Now, they may even keep him in the squad just for just for the squads thing and do his rehab at Argentina. Do you think he's gone as well from Tottenham? Because I think he will be gone.
Yeah. I think you he's a weird one because I acknowledge on his day, which is very sort of situational for me, he can be a decent player. But I just do not, and not because of him being a Tottenham player, I just don't vibe with this guy. I've always seen him as a bit of a liability in your back line as much as he is a bonus, because he just feels like he's like always on the edge of a red card. He really does. And I think you would be wise to cash in. And you know what you did with Van der Ven, you plucked yourself a younger player that was decent. I think you just need to do the same again, you know. And let's say the worst happened and you got relegated. I don't think that's it's not the disaster for Tottenham, apart from all of the banter and everything else and the size of your club, and it should never happen. All of that aside, what that enables you to do as a club is such a decent reset, because you've had dead wood in your club for so long that it would allow you to clear out so much of it, because you've accumulated so many different systems within your squad. Yeah. And you leave it to De Zerbi, you give him the entire season promotion and the next one back, if that was to happen, and have a focused squad again. It could be by the time you get back. So, okay, let's say you don't get relegated. You invest money in this squad and you try to trade a little bit and all the rest of it. Where do we see you next year? Do I see a massive improvement? Top 10, maybe?
Yeah. Well, look at United this year. Use that as an example, Nick.
I think they've got a better foundation in their squad, to be honest.
Yeah. No, they do. But if you look at it, we were both terrible last season, 16th, 17th last season. Yes, we won the Europa League. Okay. And I think that masked over the problems that were at the football club. Yeah. Now, if you look for another example as well, you look at your club, right? For 8 years, Arteta's been there, and you've been building and building and building and building. Every year you add to it. You add a bit more to it. You add a bit more quality to now where you're fighting for the league now. Now, I know you're disappointed that you're going out of the FA Cup. Southampton. Sorry. You lost at the weekend. You lost your cherries. Yeah. But you did it the right way. You stuck by them, but you invested like Man United have done. United have invested, and then in the summer they said, right, our front line isn't any good. We suffered with goals last year. What we're going to do? Right, we're going to get rid of certain players. Okay, we're going to get rid of like Rashford, and we're going to get rid of Hoyland, and we're going to bring in the players we're bought in. Right, we're going to spunk 250 million. Okay, change the manager quickly. It isn't working. right? We all know that Amron sacked himself, but
Yeah.
decisions they have been made at the right time. The decisions our board have made have never been at the right time. And I just feel whatever happens, if we stay up, Nick, which we will, or if we go down, which is a chance as well, I have no faith in this ownership or this board. They're going to make the right decisions.
Oh, I
And
agree. I agree with that though. But if you have a look at the United window, everyone was talking about Liverpool, but United went out there and brought over 40 Premier League goals in
yeah,
Cunha and Mbueno, and they really spent well in that front line
mm,
after investing in midfield and defence over the previous years.
yeah,
We know this summer United are going to go and spend big in the midfield, going to get a
mm,
couple in, replace Casemiro, and they are going to be dangerous next year.
yeah.
They are going to be really, really dangerous. And I think, do I see Tottenham making those same sort of decisions? I don't know, because you're going to have Madison back, and you're going to have Kudu back, and you're going to,
Mm,
Kulusevski back. And they're three players that make a massive difference to your team.
yeah,
They really do, with Xavi Simons as well.
mm.
You need a better number 9. I mean, I'm not being down on Solanke, because I think with the right service
Oh, he's
around
shit.
him,
Solanke shit. We all know he is.
but I think in the right. So yeah, I hear I hear you, but it's like, take Gyökeres, right?
Yeah.
We make Gyökeres look bad because we
Mm,
don't supply him in the way that he needs to be supplied, because we're
yeah.
playing sideways and backwards football and trying to do
Mm,
it down the wing and cross the ball into the box. That's not what Gyökeres is about. The
no.
system can make good players look really bad.
Mm,
And it's like with De Zerbi, what does De Zerbi do with a Madison, Kudus, Kulusevski, Simmons? How does that Tottenham look when he's given a bit more time in a full summer and all of that sort of stuff to get into it? I think you look quite exciting with, if you've got the right
yeah.
few additions. You've got to address the
But
spine of your team.
yeah, we do. But that is the thing. If we stay up, I mean, I know it's got this blind
I see
faith
it as
we are.
regardless.
Yeah. But the thing is, the likes of Simmons, Kudos, if we go down, Simmons, Kudos won't be here next season. They'll be gone. You know that. They were the first ones out the door. Any player that's worth his salt, and why is it also talking about Simmons as well? Why is 3 managers refused to start him?
Well, it says something,
Frank,
doesn't it?
Frank, Tudor, and even De Zerbi refused. He only got him on for 10 minutes yesterday. That game was
Mm.
crying out for Simmons. That
Is
game
there,
was
is there
totally
an
crying
issue
out.
we don't know about?
Well, that's the thing. This squad. I have faith in De Zerbi to keep us up, but this squad of players, I don't,
Mm.
because these squad of players have once and again, time and again, this season. How many times we drew at home to Wolves? We lost to Bournemouth earlier in the season, but we went away and drew with Man City. We
Yeah,
beat
and
Man City
Liverpool.
2-0.
And you went
And
away to
Liverpool.
Liverpool and drew. Yeah.
We finished 4th in the Champions League. Didn't even lose a game in that. And then it was only because of Kingsley's mad 15 minutes against Atletico
That was
Madrid that we
cursed,
ran
that
out.
game. That game was
Yeah.
cursed.
But I think if we hadn't had that first leg, we would have won that time. We'd have gone in. We would have been in the quarterfinals with you lot and fighting relegation. So I just feel the board have an awful lot to answer for. They have a hell of a lot
Oh,
to answer for.
without a doubt. But
And
I think, yeah, you're right. It's the whole. This is the thing. I've been playing with the idea. If you got relegated, does somebody come in with an aggressive and buy you, because all of a sudden they've got a Premier League asset in the Championship? I don't think your owners would ever sell, because
no, they wouldn't.
it's the worst time to sell, because
Yeah.
you've got the least valuable asset. But that would be a prime time to buy Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? That is the
it would.
time to go and buy them.
It's a lot of fans hope that they will sell if we go down. I don't see it happening myself. I think other time.
I think they hold on to it because you wait until
Yeah.
they go back up.
Yeah. Do you know what? And everything. I just got this in-depth fear, and that's why I named the stream "Why I Still Believe Spurs Will Stay Up: Faith Over Fear," because I have faith within the football club. I have
So
faith.
okay,
that
so where does that come from? From what? What are you placing your faith on, Dermot? What are you looking
I'm
at? And
placing
going,
because I am delusional. You know me long enough, but
yeah.
I just I just feel the footballing gods will throw us a lifeline. We can't have all this bad luck.
Who's going to step up for you?
I think Simmons will. I think Simmons will start against Brighton.
Okay.
I think losing Romero, as this is going to sound ridiculous, I'm probably going to get stick in the comments and the comments live and the comments after this. I just think losing Romero is probably a blessing in disguise. I've always said it that Danso and Van der Ven look more calm together than a Romero and a Van der Ven. I think another week with De Zerbi, he would spend the whole of this week on the mental side of the game. He would spend the whole week bringing these players up. I think it's all about mental now. It's all about mental attitude.
110%.
It's all about having the right, getting psychologists in, getting the players in. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? There is a bit of a problem as well with my delusional. I know, Danielle, faith on delusion. I do. I will admit that Forest gained the point at home to Villa. Now, on the biggest games of things, Nick, that maybe normally that wouldn't be a great result for Forest. But in this scenario we're in, that point could save them. Then you got West Ham pumping Wolves 4-0. Wolves should have been outside at the end of that first half. But they didn't. And Wolves have got momentum. And we all know it takes a while for a manager to get across his ideas. But we know what De Zerbi's like. We all know he's a head case. We all know he's an absolute. He will pump up the dead if he had to. He's that sort of a manager, and I feel the players. I think for 6 games now, I think it's all about mental attitude. It's all about getting the mental right, get the players in the right frame of mind, and I think he's got to do this. This game against Brighton is win or bust.
So the Sunderland game. What did you see in the Sunderland game that gave you hope? Was there anything in the Sunderland game that gave you hope?
I thought the first half, we had our chances. We created chances in the first half. We just didn't take them. We got strikers. We've got forward players that are absolutely confidence is through the floor. But if Solanke scores that goal just before halftime, after Kingsley made his wonder save, right? And Solanke, we're going 1-0 up at halftime, throws a whole different picture for the second half. The goal we conceded, that was a deflection. That them are the signs you could say, look, that's why we went down, because of X, Y, and Z. But in that first half, I saw enough in the first half to say to me, right, okay, I've seen fight here.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Did you see any fight?
I did. But the second half was same old Tottenham. Second half was just back to what we were under Frank Tudor and now De Zerbi. But the first half, and I don't know if it's the players trying to prove something to the manager. We've got a new manager. We've got a staff well. But the first 8-10 minutes, Nick, I thought Tottenham were on top of that game. We were creating chances. We were getting down the wings. We had our chances. But we all know Sunderland's not an easy place to go. But we didn't get a win. And you saw the reaction. What worries me, I saw the reaction of the players at full time. Van der Ven in tears. Everyone walking around head down.
I'm not sure what all of this tears thing is about. I don't get that. I mean, me as a, why are you crying now? You should have left it all on the pitch. That's my attitude.
I agree.
There's no point in crying. Archie Gray crying in the other game and all the rest of it. So no, come on, focus that into your performances.
Yeah, we all know this club has not won in 2026. Okay, we're 14 games without a win.
How that has happened with this squad.
I still don't know how that's happened. It was happening because of January. Because Johan Lang came out in January and said, we've got players coming back. We don't need to buy anyone. I mean, how can you say that? We got injuries coming out of Herrero. And then you've got a man coming on to say, I'm sorry, we don't need to buy anyone. If we do go down, I'm pointing to January. That's where the rot set in. That's where we set in. We left Thomas
just to be objective there, Dermot.
Yeah.
I look at your squad and I look at your players.
Wow.
And
Oh
It's
my good
just
lord.
no way. Have they scored again?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh dear.
I look at your squad and I look at your players,
Mm.
and it is people have tapped out. I question some of these injuries. I just feel like there's people like, oh yeah, I don't want to fight. I don't want to get involved.
Mm.
I'm quite happy to sit here and say I'm injured and I've got a
Yeah.
problem with this, that, and the other.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I
I
agree.
do feel like there is some of that, and that's worse. I mean, you've got players out there that might not be performing on the pitch,
Mm.
but at least they're turning up and putting it on the line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're looking at Leeds tonight, 2-0 up, putting it on the line. You look at Forest. Forest beating up when Forest beat us 3-0. You saw the class, the difference in class, and
Yeah.
players not turning up. And you're right. You are right. Players have not turned up this season.
No.
But surely to God, right, we can beat Brighton and we can beat Wolves. Surely, but if
Brighton are one of those teams that their forward line are no joke, and they've got pace. They've got belief. The thing that I worry about you and Brighton, I've been saying that you should win it, but Belieber in that midfield, he's
Yeah.
a beast. And if your boys don't want it, you're going to get overrun. And
Yeah,
that is
and
the only
also-
thing. That's the only thing
Yeah.
I would say on that one.
I agree on that because also when you think about it, if we go 1 or 2-0 down at home, the fans will turn.
Yeah.
Or everyone will walk out. And this is why I was saying this afternoon. This is why I was saying this afternoon that we have to get behind the protests as well now. We have to get behind the Change for Tottenham protests. We have to do something before the game or after the game. Support
After
the
the
team
game,
during the
maybe.
game
Yeah.
and before the game.
I mean, when they're fragile, I think you guys have got to turn up and you've got to cheer your boys on. You go 1-0 down, you cheer louder. And you've got to do your best to lift them, because right now you've got some genuine pros that are playing for you that are on the floor, and they need lifting, and they need the fans, because I think that's been a part of the problem. They're almost scared of playing at home.
Yeah, they are. They're very much so. And it's like here, dressing room described as fearful and mentally fragile. Robert De Zerbi has told players it's not tactic, it's mentally. He said it in his press conference yesterday.
Right.
Players are reportedly feeling the pressure of relegation heavily. Well, if they're starting to feel the pressure, then there's no hope, because these players will not turn up. They didn't turn up yesterday. And and yes, we can say the referee, we should have had a penalty yesterday. Yes, we should have.
I didn't see that. I saw that it was ruled out, but I haven't seen the decision.
And also, we haven't had a penalty all season. We have not been awarded one penalty all season. And it makes you think it's the universe plotting against us.
Against you, yeah.
That everyone, by everyone sort of wanting us to go down. What's the biggest story, Nick? Right? This. What's the biggest news story? Right? Arsenal not winning the league, or Tottenham Hotspur getting relegated?
I don't think either, because Arsenal haven't been winning the league for nearly 4 years, and you've been flirting with relegation for 2.
I ask a serious question and I get a funny answer.
I'm being serious. My
know
gosh,
you
if it carries on the way we're going and we finish second again 4 years running, that's just like freaking hell. But you know what? It's not nice. It's horrible.
No.
It is absolutely horrible. But I know outside of the team winning it, there's blooming 18 other teams that quite happily switch position with us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like copium, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with these guys. It's just the problem with Arteta and Arsenal is the thing that Wenger done really, really well was a Wiltord would come on, or a Kanu would come on, or somebody like that, and they were ready to perform. They would put their bit in and they would, drag the team along. I remember we had a young keeper called Alex Mangina, and Seaman was injured for about 5-6 games, and it was like, right, there goes the title. And this
Yeah.
guy came in and he was absolutely amazing. And it's all you look now, and the players that haven't got enough minutes are acting like they're in a piss.
Yeah.
And the players that have been playing have played too many. And the players that have been out of the team are out of form. And because he's been changing everything left, right, and centre, you're now trying to bring on players that are out of form and got the hump to try and be the difference. It's just like it's a cluster of a situation, really.
It is. It
And
is.
I mean, Pep goes out there and he spends 150 million to go and buy the form players, you know, Gay and Semenyo. And last season he brought form players out in the winter. Gives you a boost, and it's hard to compete with. It really, really is.
It is. It is. I mean, Mr. Bashford, he says, do you still believe we're staying up? Yeah, I do. I do believe we're staying up. I think we will. I just think we're bound to get some luck somewhere along the line. But look, as I said, if we get to Leeds and we're 5 points from safety, then I think that's it. Good night, Irene. But apart from that, I think we can stay up. I think we can. Look, we only lost 1-0 to Sunderland. If that was games gone by, we would have been 3 or 4-0 down.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I
You
also
would have been spanked.
Yeah, and you also got to look at the positive. Look, Kingsky had a great redemption yesterday. Okay. Hey, Demo, is it okay to ask about YouTube? Yeah, of course it is, bud.
Send it on, fella.
Send it on.
I do agree with what Daniel Stewart said a little bit further up. How you protest, the club don't buy beer. And it is that. Hit them financially. Be vocal for your team. If I was talking about my team, that's exactly what I would be saying.
Yeah.
Hit them in the pocket. It's the only language they understand.
But our fans won't do that. Our fans won't do that, Nick. Our fans, Change for Tottenham, Billy, who's on the channel quite a lot. We just don't do it, and we need to get behind these protests.
Wear your vintage shirts for a season. Wear your vintage shirts for a season. You know, it's the message soon gets home, and that's what people have got to. And as football fans, because I look at Tottenham and where you find yourselves, and apart from you being our mortal enemies, you are my fellow football fans. We love the same sport. Most of us will support the same national side, and there is that bit where the money men and the billionaires have taken over our sport, our working class sport, and they've turned it into their plaything. And I've got resentment about that as well, because I don't like the way football clubs are run, and I don't like the way the business and the way FIFA and UEFA and all of these bodies act with our game. And the only language that they speak is money. And so, yeah, if you guys aren't happy, go for a season and wear your vintage shirts. That's what I would be saying.
No, I agree. I totally agree. Look, it's about getting behind these. It's about showing that you're willing to forego whatever you normally buy at when you go to the game. Yep. I buy all my top third party. I don't buy any of my Tottenham tops off Tottenham. Yes, right. I've got to get the Spurs play because I need it for content. I need it for my pre-season. And I said earlier, I'm probably a bit of a hypocrite for doing that, but I've got to. I want to bring content to you guys in the pre-season games. I've got to get these things. And if I could find it another way, I would. If I can find how to get these games another way, I would do it in a heartbeat, but I can't. But we just don't want to do it. We just do not want to get behind this protest or what Change for Tottenham are doing or whatever they're trying to do, because we just want to go and watch the game and go home. You look at the Super League as a whole, right? And all the clubs that come out the Super League, thousands come out with Arsenal against the Super League. I remember watching pictures, the whole of the front of the stadium was completely full. And I worked in that stadium. I worked 3 years on that stadium. So the front of that concourse is massive. You look at Chelsea, same thing again. You look at Liverpool, same thing again. You look at Manchester United, actually got a game abandoned. Rightly or wrongly, they did. What did we do? We turned up 200 people. And then they showed one picture which I'll never forget. there was people with Spurs merchandise in one hand and jumping around with the shoes in the air.
Mm.
We're pathetic. Some of our fan base are pathetic.
I think
We should.
we compete with the gold medal for that one. I'm telling you, our
Yeah.
fan base, my gosh. But yes, you guess what's this? So my question is, I
Yeah.
edited the video in YouTube Studio using a track from YouTube library. Since I have done that, it's completely stuck for 5 days and froze, but fused to the last 28 days rather than my lifetime views. That hasn't happened to me on anything.
It
But
hasn't
as-
happened to me either. I've
What's-
never known that.
What's so Rosaroni, put the title of the video in. I'll do a check from something outside and see what it looks like to me. So if you put the title of your video in the stream, in the search term, and I'll have a look and let's see. But it shouldn't affect you if it's still being viewed and everything. But that is a little bit odd.
Yeah, big up to you, Rosa, and big up to you, Tara, as well. But look, Nick, we're going to end it off now in a minute. Look, tomorrow we've got a great stream coming up. The North London podcast is back this week. It will be back. It will be back on Thursday as we gear up for a new season. I'm having Wednesday off, but tomorrow night we have Connor Levionics coming on the channel to talk about all things finance, and we're going to go through worst case scenario. If Spurs are relegated, what does that mean financially for the football club? If we're not relegated, what does that mean financially as well? And also with the owners, what bid would they take to sell the football club? And that's what it comes down to, Nick. It's coming down to the gritty time now where Leeds are winning 2-0 tonight. I think if Leeds win tonight, they stay up.
Yeah, I honestly got to say I didn't see that happening at all. I did not see that happening at all.
No. Well, Nick, do you want to tell people where they can find you?
You can find me on page 9 of Victoria's Secrets. That is me in the high heels and suspenders. So, if you come across it, have a look. Check me out. No, you can find me on the Football Takeover. And I'm often on there talking nonsense like I have tonight. So thank you for listening to me. If you haven't already, guys, please like, share and subscribe the stream. Support Dermot because he is a top guy out here doing content, and he's a genuine Tottenham fan and he deserves your support. So make sure you get behind your fellow content creators and give him a like and give him a subscribe.
Yeah, and you will see Nick and Brenny on Thursday with the North London podcast, which I can't wait to get back again. I just want to end in this, guys. So yeah, maybe we're doomed right now. Maybe things ain't going our way. Maybe the whole world thinks it's over. But this club, it doesn't die that easy. Because being Spurs, it's not about glory every week. It's about belief. And when nothing's left to hold on to, and when the moment comes, when it finally turns, and when the noise goes quiet and the doubt disappears, we'll still be here. The ones who never walk away, the ones who never stop believing. So so say what you want, write us off, doubt us. We're Tottenham Hotspur. We don't quit. Come on, you Spurs. And that's where we're going to end it there.